Everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about GRE lab. In this one we are going to design the GRE lab. In our next class we are going to do the configuration. So let me go here. I am using the EVNG. You can use the EVNG, GNS3 or packet tracer. All three are working for this one. So go here, click add new lab and write here the GRE. Okay, because we are going to do the GRE lab. So I will write here GRE lab and click, and then you can see you have the dashboard of EVNG. Here what I will do, I will take the router. So I need 3 router here, so I can use this 3 router or I can use this one, your wish, whatever you want to use. So let me use this one. I will take this. I need 3 and here I can give the name as R, and here I can add the fast Ethernet interface. Here I added the fast Ethernet, and let me add more this way and save. So you have the 3 router. What we can do here, I can say this is my head office. Okay, if you want to change the image, go here, look which image you want. Example, you can select something like different image. So you can say this is your head office or different office or something. Here you have lot of images, but depend which one you want, you can select that one. Like some building type, like that also available here. Like some guy sitting here, and you can take different, but anyhow let me take anything because we need to learn here. Or I can take the big router image. Let me check because before I have some images here. Anyhow I will use normal image instead of building, because understanding concept is important. So concept is very important. What I can do here, anyhow I will take this big router image. You can use anything, no issue. I taken, imagine this is your head office. Okay, if you want to rename this one, you can write here head office, headquarter or something like this. So I will write here head office or headquarter. And this one you can say this is a ISP, internet service provider. You can take the cloud image. So by taking that cloud, you can say this is a ISP. Let me check where is the cloud, this one. And you can say this is a ISP, and you can connect this cloud to this router. Okay, and you can connect this cloud to this router. And here also you want to change the image of the router, the look you can change. Just now we take the CSR router icon, so you can take from here which one we use. I think this one. Okay, so now imagine this is your head office. This is your head office. Okay, and this is the ISP, internet service provider, and this is your branch office. You can rename this as a branch office or any name of the branch wherever you have the branch. Branch office 1 I can give. So this one is the ISP. We get the internet connection from the ISP, and we told ISP give me the static IP. So ISP give you the static IP address. Okay, so public IP you taken, and you can say you have the LAN network. If you want to connect the switch and LAN network, you can do, or instead of that one you can take the loop back. Excuse me. So I will take the loop back. I will write here 192.168.1.1. I can say this is my loopback 0. Okay, this is my loopback 0. We can say, I can write here this is a loopback 0. Okay, this is a loopback 0. Imagine this is your LAN network. Okay, in the head office. Same like that we can say this is my LAN network in the branch office. I can take here 2 dot, whatever IP you want you can take. I will take here 2.1, here is 1.1, and in between here ISP will give you the IP. So let me duplicate and put the IP here. Imagine ISP give you IP like 1.1.1.1/8. Okay, this is the ISP give you the IP to assign to your router. This is a public static IP, imagine, and this is the IP present to the ISP router. So you can create the default route and forward the traffic towards this ISP. Okay, through default route you can send the traffic. Whatever traffic you have in your organization, you can create the default route towards this IP, so it will go to the ISP. And here imagine you have ISP is having 2.2.2.2/8. This one, the cloud is nothing but ISP, and this IP ISP give you and told to assign to your router interface facing towards the ISP. So you have this IP here. Okay, so what we can say, this is the head office, this is the branch office, this is your LAN network in the head office, this is your LAN network in the branch office, this is a static IP, that is a static public IP given by the ISP to your router. You need to assign this one and forward the default route towards the ISP. Same thing you need to do that one. Okay, so let me power on the device and we can assign or we can do the configuration in our next class. Theory we can discuss, because now we are going to do the GRE tunnel we are going to do. So GRE is a VPN, but it is a unsecure VPN. Why we are using GRE means GRE allow the multicast traffic. Example, you want to run the OSPF or EIGRP, any dynamic routing protocol. So dynamic routing protocol is using the multicast traffic. So if you go for the IPsec is not going to allow the multicast traffic. So what you will do, you will configure the GRE. Over the GRE you can configure the IPsec. So GRE is a unsecure. Whatever traffic is going from here to here, anyone can capture and they can see what is going inside that packet. But what you will do, when you finish the GRE configuration, you can configure IPsec. Okay, so when you configure the IPsec, then it will be encrypted one. So just you need to remember, GRE is a VPN which is unencrypted. GRE is not doing the encryption. But why we are using the GRE? We are using the GRE because GRE is applying the multicast traffic. Why we need multicast traffic? We need the multicast traffic to forward the traffic, like to forward the routing protocol information. You can use the static route, but example, you have this LAN network, you need to advertise this LAN network this side and this LAN network that side. So how you will do? You can use the static route or you can use the dynamic route. Example, if you use the static route, if any network go down, then you need to do manual configuration. But if you run the dynamic routing protocol, automatically router is going to get the another part. So for that purpose, we will use the dynamic routing protocol compared to the static route. So what we can say? We can say we will run the dynamic routing protocol. To run the dynamic routing protocol, we need the GRE, because GRE is allowing the multicast traffic. The OSPF or EIGRP, whatever dynamic routing protocol you will use, they are sending the hello packets, they are updating the database with the help of multicast traffic. Okay, they are using the multicast IP, if you remember 224.0.0.5.6 like that. So because of that one, what we need to have the multicast traffic. We need to allow the multicast traffic. We can do that in the GRE. That's why we are using the GRE. Okay, I hope this is clear. So in the GRE, what we can say? We can say GRE is nothing but generic routing encapsulation. You need to remember the full form. GRE is nothing but generic routing encapsulation, and it is a tunneling protocol, we can say, developed by the CISCO. Okay, GRE mechanism that encapsulate one protocol into another protocol. GRE is going to encapsulate one protocol into another protocol. It is a tunneling concept. We can say they are putting packet inside the other packet. Here what we are going to do, we are going to forward all the traffic to the ISP with the help of default route. Here also I am going to forward all the traffic towards the ISP with the default route. Here you have only ISP. Maybe here you have lot of routers, switches, but we are not responsible about this one, because internet service provider is responsible. We are paying to him, so he is responsible. What we will do, we will just forward the traffic. Okay, just we will forward the traffic to the ISP. ISP is responsible for all this stuff. So now what we can do, we can take the configuration here. Just I will forward the traffic to the ISP, and this branch office also going to forward the traffic to the ISP, but it will not reachable because we don't have anything. So what we will do, we will create the tunnel here. So we are going to create the tunnel between the head office to the branch office, and after that we can assign the IP to the tunnel. So we can use the step 1. We will create the tunnel. Okay, tunnel. Step 1 is creating the tunnel. Step 2 is assigning the IP address to the tunnel. Okay, we can say configuring the source IP, destination IP to the tunnel we can do in the step 3. And in step 4, what we can do, we can configure the IP address of the tunnel using the tunnel destination IP. Or in simple, if you want, I will write here. See here what we will do. In the step 1, we can write the interface tunnel 1, whatever tunnel you want, 1, 2 or 3. we will assign the tunnel here. We will create the tunnel. We will assign the IP address. We will assign the tunnel source, tunnel destination, and then we can run the dynamic routing protocol. Or if you are confused, let me write here so you can easily understand. Step 1. What we will do in the step 1? Creating tunnel interface on R1, R2 by using the interface tunnel number command. So here we are going to create the tunnel. We are going to create the tunnel in the R1 and R2 in the step 1, R1, R2. In the step 2, what we are going to do? Choose the subnet to be used on the tunnel interface and assign the IP address from the subnet on the both the endpoint. So here we are going to assign the IP address. We will use the subnet, whatever subnet we are going to use, and we are going to assign the IP address from that same subnet. Okay. So example I am planning to use here the whatever IP. Example I will say I will create here tunnel. Okay, tunnel 1, and IP I am going to give here 172.168 or 116 we will use 172.16.1.1/24 this side, and here I will say here also I am creating the tunnel 1, and here I am going to give the IP this side 172.16.1.2/24 because we need to use the same subnet. So here I am assigning the IP address to the tunnel. IP address to the tunnel. Second step. Okay. And now we will go for the third step. Third step, what we will do? Third step is also simple. We can say configure the source IP address of the tunnel interface using the tunnel source interface or tunnel source IP address command. Source interface or IP address must be one of the connecting router to the public part. Example, in the step 3, what we will do? We will do the source. We are going to define here who is the source. So how we can write that one? We can write tunnel source. We will define here. Source means this IP, ISP IP, whatever ISP give 1.1.1.1, and you need to define the tunnel destination also. So I will write here tunnel destination, and I am doing here configuration. So destination will be this one. So this is IP. So tunnel destination will be 2.2.2.1. So what we done here in the step, which step we use? This one, first one is finished, second one is finished, third one we done assigning the source IP. Fourth one is destination IP, and the fifth one, what we can say? This is one we can say the fourth step, assigning destination IP. Fifth step we can say we can configure the routing. Okay, we can configure the routing, but before routing you can create the default route towards here ISP. So I can write here create, okay, create or configure the route towards the or we can say configure default route to ISP. This is first thing, and after that we can say here we can configure the EIGRP, configure the routes to use the tunnel interface to reach the remote subnet. Here I can say configure the route to use the tunnel interface. Okay, so here you can use the EIGRP or OSPF, any routing protocol you can use. So this one, if you are confused default route, forget this default route. First what we will do, assign this IP to this interface, 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 and assign this IP here into the loopback, and then create the default route saying 0.0.0 forward to this IP, and create here default route 0.0.0 forward to this IP. After that you will create the tunnel, example T1 both the router, then you will add the IP address to the tunnel, this IP, this here, and this one is for the branch office. Then you will define the source, tunnel source IP, then tunnel destination IP. After that you can configure the whatever routing protocol you are using. If you are confused, I will write here the configuration so you will have the idea. See here what I will do here, I will write this way. like first you need to assign this IP. I will imagine you assign already the IP. So just I will create the default route. I will write 0.0.0 IP route you need to write. Let me write here IP route 0.0.0.0, then 0.0.0.0. You will forward all traffic to this IP 1.1.1.2. Okay, so you are forwarding all the traffic here. This one is a default basic configuration. Assign this IP and create this one in the head office. Now we will go for the GRE configuration. You will write here interface, okay, tunnel. I will create the tunnel 1, and then I will assign the IP address to the tunnel. So I will write IP address. I can write whatever IP. Example, I am planning to use this IP 172.16.1.1. okay, I will use the subnet mask is 255. Example, I use /24, so I will write 255.255.0. okay, and here I need to define the tunnel source, that is a public IP. So I will write tunnel source and write the public IP. What is your public IP? This is your public IP. And then you will write the tunnel destination. So you will write tunnel destination, and right here what is your tunnel destination? This one. So 2.2.2.1. okay, and after that you can do your routing protocol for the tunnel. So you will write router. Example, I am using router, okay, router EIGRP in case I am using EIGRP 1. Then no auto summary. If you are using new router, no need to write no auto summary, because by default in the new software it is disabled. But if you want to write, you can write also no auto summary, and you can write network and your tunnel IP you will define here, and your LAN network IP. So you will write network, and what is your tunnel? You are using the tunnel 172.16.1.0. okay, this one, this is your tunnel IP. And what is your LAN network? This one. So you will define this one here 192.168.1.0. that's all. This way we will do the GRE configuration. Okay, this is for the R1 or head office. You will only put the routes in the EIGRP, your LAN network and the tunnel. Example, for this here T1 we can say tunnel. I give IP 172.16.1.1, and here another tunnel for the branch office T1, and I give IP here. Tunnel IP is 172.16.1.1.2. This tunnel IP should be in the same subnet. So I give this one, so that I need to advertise in the EIGRP and I need to advertise my LAN network. That's all. This is the GRE configuration for head office. If you want to go for the branch office, same configuration. This one you will create, and here let me take different color. Here instead of this IP you will write this IP. What is that IP? This one, because you are going to forward all the traffic towards the ISP. So you will write this one 2.2.2, and tunnel 1 here you will assign this IP, this one. So you will write here this IP, and the source IP, what will be the source IP? Source IP will be your IP, this one. So this will be 2.2.2.1, and tunnel destination IP will be this one. So you will put here 1.1.1.1. This blue color configuration is for branch office, okay, and this the different color is I am using for head office. And this is the router EIGRP1, and here this is the same thing, and here you will put 2. Okay, this is a configuration for the what we can say branch office. This color is used for branch office configuration, and this color I am using for head office configuration. No need to worry, later we are going to do the lab, so I am going to do the configuration. If you are having the issue to understand this way, no need to worry. I am going to show you by typing the comments in the router, or I will put in the notepad so you can easily understand. Just I give you the concept. So why we are configuring this one? Because if you are planning to ping from this LAN network to this LAN network, it will not work. Okay, so it should work means what you need to do, you need to take the virtual lease LAN, but it is expensive. So what we will do, we will not use the virtual lease line, we will take only the internet connection, and we will take the static IP address, and then we will do the configuration. How we will do the configuration? We will configure the GRE. GRE steps you need to remember. First we need to create the tunnel, assign the IP to the tunnel, and both the site IP should be in the same subnet. You need to remember that one. Both the site IP should be the same subnet, here and here, both the site. After that you need to define the tunnel source IP, okay, tunnel destination IP, and then you can run the dynamic routing protocol. You need to define the tunnel network ID and your LAN network ID. Okay, so this way we can make the communication between two branches even if we are using the internet. But this is a unsecure, because GRE is a unsecure. So later we are going to put the IPsec here, so it will be encrypted. I hope this is clear. In our next class we are going to do the configuration. Thank you. Bye.